For much of the 20th century, Chicago was already a city of height. It had invented the skyscraper, rebuilt itself after fire, and pushed steel and ambition higher than anywhere else in the world. But by the 1960s, the skyline was changing again. New engineering ideas were emerging, and Chicago wanted a building that didn't just rise tall, but redefined what tall could mean. On North Michigan Avenue, near the edge of Lake Michigan, that idea took form. This is 875 North Michigan Avenue. When construction began in 1965, the project was bold, controversial, and risky. At the time, most skyscrapers relied on heavy internal frames and rigid walls. But this building would be different. Designed by architect Bruce Graham and structural engineer Fazlur Rahman Khan, it introduced a revolutionary concept: the truss tube system. Instead of hiding its strength inside, the building wore it on the outside. The massive X-shaped steel braces, visible across its dark facade, weren't decoration. They were structural muscle. They allowed the tower to resist Chicago's powerful winds while using less steel than traditional designs. It was engineering honesty. Nothing fake. Nothing wasted. As the tower climbed higher, skepticism followed. Chicagoans questioned whether it was too tall, too dark, too aggressive for the city's elegant lakefront. Some feared it would cast long shadows over nearby neighborhoods. Others doubted it would even stand. But floor by floor, it rose. In 1969, the building topped out at 100 stories, becoming the second tallest building in the world at the time. With its antennas, it pierced the sky at nearly 1,500 feet. Chicago had claimed vertical dominance once again. Originally known as the John Hancock Center, the building was designed as a vertical city. Offices filled the lower floors. Residences occupied the upper levels. Shops and public spaces activated the street below. And near the top, observation decks and restaurants offered views stretching across 4 states on a clear day. This wasn't just a place to work or live. It was a place to experience height. But greatness came with cost. Soon after completion, cracks appeared in some windows due to unexpected wind movement. Entire panes had to be replaced. The problem wasn't failure. It was learning. The building was moving exactly as designed, but the glass technology of the era hadn't kept up with the ambition. The fixes worked. The tower endured. Over the decades, 875 North Michigan Avenue became inseparable from Chicago's identity. It appeared in films, photographs, and postcards. Its dark silhouette stood in sharp contrast to the city's lighter towers. Not elegant in the traditional sense, but confident, defiant, and unmistakable. Inside, thousands lived their lives above the clouds. Elevators carried residents from street level to sky in seconds. Tourists pressed their faces against glass at the observation deck. On stormy nights, lightning wrapped the antennas in electric fire, turning the building into a beacon visible for miles. In time, its name changed. Corporate branding replaced legacy titles, and it officially became 875 North Michigan Avenue. But to Chicago, and to architecture, it remained the same tower. The same statement. A building that proved skyscrapers didn't need to be fragile or decorative. They could be strong. They could be honest. They could show how they stood. Today, more than half a century later, 875 North Michigan Avenue still dominates the magnificent mile. Newer towers rise around it. Taller buildings exist elsewhere. But few have matched its influence. Because this tower didn't just reach the sky. It changed how the sky could be reached. And in doing so, it secured its place not just in Chicago's skyline, but in the history of architecture itself.